The man buried his head deep into the refrigerator, desperately licking the remaining frost inside as if finding tremendous satisfaction. But the next second, he broke down crying in despair. Mike was an experienced thief. This time he had his sights set on an art collector's mansion. With his accomplice's help, he successfully disabled the alarm system and easily entered the house to steal the collection. However, just as he was about to leave, the alarm system unexpectedly rebooted. The front door automatically locked shut. His accomplice fled in panic, leaving Mike stranded and helpless. He pried open the control panel and finally silenced the alarm, not knowing that damaging the system had also quietly activated the mansion's heating mode. The room began heating up rapidly. Mike frantically searched for an exit, but this mansion was on the 60th floor, equipped with soundproof, bulletproof glass throughout. Aside from the locked front door, there was no other way out. Feeling around the door, Mike discovered it was made entirely of solid wood. He immediately ran his fingertips along every crevice to find the weakest spot and began chiseling furiously with his knife. If he could just carve out one hole, he could open the door from the outside. Soon Mike successfully chiseled off the door's outer panel and saw the relatively softer inner panel, his knife flying as wood chips scattered everywhere. But as time passed, the damaged central air conditioning grew hotter and hotter. Beads of sweat rolled down Mike's neck, and the moisture he'd gotten from the refrigerator was quickly depleted. Unable to bear it any longer, Mike began searching the entire house for water, only to discover in despair that the whole house had completely lost water service. Staring at the toilet that wouldn't flush, Mike hesitated for a long time but still couldn't bring himself to drink from it. Finally, Mike set his sights on the luxurious fish tank in the living room. He tentatively dipped his finger to taste a bit of the tank water, but the salt water was bitter and harsh, only accelerating his dehydration. With no choice, Mike could only endure his thirst and continue chiseling the door. Suddenly, his knife tip hit something that made a dull sound. Somewhat puzzled, he quickly felt around with his fingers. It wasn't the texture of wood. Mike frantically stabbed with his knife tip, only to discover in despair that the door actually contained a layer of solid, thick steel plate. Without professional tools, it would be impossible to break through. Mike tried using his walkie-talkie to call his accomplice for help, but his partner had already abandoned him. All night long, Mike received no response, so he prepared to pick up the mansion's phone to call the police, only to find the phone had no signal. This strange mansion felt eerie everywhere, as if it were a cage specifically designed for Mike.